Please make it happen. I will pay you whatever you want. I will be your servant. This is the band t-shirt. Okay, so I can advertise it with the hair dryer, pink, hot pink hair dryer. I have a video.
Hello everyone, Nika Rocks here, and today I'm having Claudia Beltrame, the singer of many different bands. Claudia, you've got so many projects. When I was preparing for this chat, I found out that, wow, you're involved in so many different bands and projects. How would you introduce yourself in the first place?
Okay, hi everyone, and hi Nika. Thank you for having me here. Okay, now I think of myself primarily as the singer of Degrees of Truth, and that's a symphonic metal band from Milan, Italy, and also the co-lead singer for Silent Angel. That is an international band. International because I am the only Italian guy in the band. All the other my other bandmates live in Malaysia. So, okay, basically the band is Malaysian. And also I have a tribute band, Nightwish tribute band. That's also local. So we play Nightwish covers here in the north of Italy mostly. So, but basically my main project is Degrees of Truth and Silent Angel. Though in the second case, it's a little bit more difficult. We can't see each other very often. So, but we're planning something. So maybe we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, exactly. So speaking about of your projects, how do you find time?
No, it's okay. If you know what to do and how to do it properly, okay, you can schedule it without being too stressed, without it being too stressful. But it depends on the period because, for example, last year when we were about to release our first album together with Degrees of Truth, that's called Alchemist. Also, this is the band t-shirt. Okay, so I can advertise it. Okay. It was more stressful when you're close to the release of an album year and you have so much to do. In that case, you don't really have time to do much else. But you know, during year, you know, rehearsals, we do just when it is strictly necessary, and when we write together, when we write the songs, we are very productive. Okay, so we just do small sessions, but we're very productive during them. So we manage to schedule and organize everything in a very smooth way. Also because we are not even if in Degrees of Truth, we're all living in Lombardy. we're not living close. We are, you know, at the four corners of the region, so we have to, you know,
Arrange to meet and
arrange our meetings according to everyone's personal schedule. So
yeah, because I imagine also other members of the band have their own things, their own projects going on.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
and also with the Malaysian band, of course, we've worked remotely. You know, I recording the album that's called that's also an album that came out last year in November. It's called the band is called Silent Angel, and the album is Unyielding, Unrelenting. I recorded my vocal parts from Italy, and they recorded everything else in the same studio in Kuala Lumpur. And then I went there to do some shows. And also this was before the release of the album, because we had to, produce all the promotional material for the band, so the pictures, the videos, music videos. So I had to go there before, and so that of course we had to do in person. And of course, when we will have other shows, we'll have to do it in person. But that's of course something that you have to plan ahead many months or even a year in advance, because of the distance, of big distance.
Yeah, that's right. Well, your collaboration with Silent Angel sounds interesting indeed, and it's not something that a musician would necessarily venture for. Meaning the collaboration on a distance. How did that happen?
Okay, that's peculiar in a way. Okay, many years ago, when I was just starting out in metal, it was 2018. Okay, I just with a friend, I posted a cover of A Sleeping Sun by Nightwish on YouTube, and Eric, the guitarist of Silent Angel, I don't know how he stumbled upon it, because it still today doesn't have that many views, but somehow he ended up there. And he said, "Oh wow, that's a wonderful voice. I want her to sing in my project." And he contacted me, but at the time I was just starting out. I didn't know how to record things properly. I was a little bit afraid of an international project. I didn't know if I was up to it, if I was ready to do something like that. So I dismissed it. Sorry, not right now. So he met another singer, but in the end she decided to leave to follow her solo career. And so after years, in 2021, he approached me again, and he said, "Well, are you ready right now? Because I have not changed my mind." And I thought it was just a collaboration, not me actively joining the band. Since that year, I had already done my first collaboration, remote collaboration. It's called Mindfar. Okay, it's a collective project, and we released this album that's called Prophet of the Astral Gods. It's like a metal opera. Okay, I felt more confident, and I said, "Okay, no worries. I like the songs; they're really catchy." So, okay, I'm in. And then, after a while, I realized they wanted me to join the band properly. So, up until when I had the plane tickets in my hand, I wasn't really convinced that I was going to fly to Kuala Lumpur, but in the end it happened, and it was a wonderful experience that I'm going to replicate very soon. And it was wonderful playing there and doing photo shoots and video shoots and everything. It was wonderful, but it started out in my mind as a remote collaboration, and now it's one of my bands, proper bands.
Wow, so the conclusion that we can draw here is that everybody deserves a second chance.
Yeah, that's okay. One thing I should say, I am a person that let people have second chances. Of course, if they are reliable, if they have something to offer. Okay, sometimes it's just not the right time, and so.
I see. And Malaysia must be totally different from Italy, also in terms of music, speaking about the Malaysian metal scene and Italian metal scene.
Okay, I must say that in Malaysia, metal is even less popular than in Italy. Okay, big groups, like big bands like Dream Theater or Metallica, okay, they're popular there, even there. But people listen to rock, to classic rock, but metal not so much. That's something that's not very popular there. But Kuala Lumpur is an important place, you know, to go and play in Asia. Okay, like it's an important bridge to Japan. That's on the other hand more interested in metal than both Malaysia and Italy. So. And also it's their home country, so it was important to play there, of course, because okay, so they said we can start this new trend, of course, from our little band, but it was fun anyway. Okay, there were people that were also we were in the capital, so it's a big city, so people there, they listen to every kind of music. It's not like playing, I don't know, in the open country or something like that. And it's also a Muslim country, very open. One thing I should say, I've never been to a Muslim country before that, and that was very different from what I expected, because it's in some aspects it's very modern, very open. I felt at ease, I felt safe, so at least in the capital.
That's great. Before going there, did you have any prejudice? Like, did you think
No,
that?
I was a little worried just as a woman, because you know, I have this this little guide, the tour guide, travel guide, okay, this travel guide, and it said you have to cover your arms, you have to cover your knees, because it's not respectful. Then I went there, and you know, since it's a melting pot there, it's not like it's not only Muslims, okay, there are Chinese, there are Indians, there are other ethnicities. You can see everything, okay? Chinese people, they dress like us, so there was no need, but at least in the capital. Maybe if you travel in the more remote areas, maybe you should be more careful in respecting the norms and not offending or anything. But even though I was, I think, one of the very few Caucasians that I saw there, because it was November, so it was not high season for tourists or anything. They were very fine, respectful. They didn't, you know, stare or anything. So yeah, in that sense, maybe I had some little bit of prejudice, but it it was also the travel guides' fault, because they said, oh, you should be careful.
Yeah, but you know, those travel guides usually they want you to play it safe.
Yeah, sure. I can understand that, of
Take the
course.
blame if something happens. Probably that's the reason why.
Also, the main difference is that I was with some locals. So everywhere when you travel, when you are with locals, you are safer than traveling by yourself in a strange country. So
Yeah, that's right. I see.
To be lost in this mind. I don't want to be trapped in a greater sky. Everything's changing, I won't compromise, but I just don't want to embrace sacrifice.
So considering that you've taken part in a lot of projects, someone might ask you, instead of being part of so many different projects, wouldn't it be better to focus on one band only and try to bring it forward? What would you say to that?
well, I must say my main project is Degrees of Truth for me. If I could do more for this band, in which I truly believe with my heart, I would do it. But since, especially in Italy, it's not very easy to emerge, and it's not easy to play a lot of live gigs that I love very deeply. It's the most fun part for me of music, is playing live and the connection with the audience and everything. So when I'm not doing something with one band, I'm doing something with another. But I have to do this specification. Okay, I have to specify this. In Degrees of Truth, I'm also a songwriter, and I also write lyrics, and so I'm involved at every level. While my other projects, okay, playing covers, with Wishmasters. There was a time when we were playing live constantly, every month, everywhere, and after the pandemic, this got a little worse. We had few gigs, so we're not as busy as we were before, and we have more or less that fixed set list. So it's not that it takes not so much time, to build up a show and go there and play. And with the Silent Angel, of course, we are very far from one another, and I'm just right now. We'll see for the next album. But right now, I'm just a singer. I'm just a performer. So I haven't written a line or a note. So there's work to do there, of course, because there's another female singer in the band, so we have to harmonize and everything and make everything sound good. But it's not like writing a song from scratch as we did with Degrees of Truth. So and also one thing that incidentally I noticed is that doing different things brings new ideas to the other projects, and also improves my personal technique doing different things, even though we're always talking about metal in this case. But and also playing for different bands means that I bring fans from a band to another one. So people that got to know me with Degrees of Truth now listen to Silent Angel, and vice versa, and things like that.
Yeah, that's
and the same. Sorry. Sorry. And I was also thinking about the one-time collaborations, or when they asked me to go and be a guest on a live show, like I did for Embrace of Souls on April 27th. That was on the Vision Divine's 25th anniversary. Okay. It also helps widen the audience of my bands, and also I enjoy being on stage. So whenever you ask me, of course, if it's worthy, I'm there. But I noticed that it helps a lot. It helps a lot, especially when I go to see to listen to other bands play, and of course, if we're in Milan or in Lombardy, we're almost the same crowd every time. Okay, so I stumble upon people, acquaintances, and everything, and maybe they say, "Oh, I saw you that time, and then I got to listen to your band," or I don't know, I met you somewhere on that occasion. You were a guest, and then I started listening to Silent Angel. So to me, it's good overall for everyone if I'm not in just one single project.
Yeah, and that's something that I really like to hear, especially after you said that in Italy it's very difficult to promote your own band, especially if you're not a very known band. And at the same time, you also mentioned that, for example, with your cover band, you were much more in demand, let's say. Why do you think is that? Also, after a while of living in Italy, I've noticed the same trend. Here there are so many cover bands, and my question is, why would people rather go and listen to cover bands instead of discovering new bands and give them some support as well?
Okay, people in general every one of us, after a certain age in adulthood, um, tend to listen to the same things over and over unless they're very passionate about music. They tend to listen over and over to the same things. They're not really into finding new bands, new releases, and especially when there's so much offer right now, because it's become cheaper to produce an album, and so a lot of albums are out there, a lot of bands, and it's people are not they just have too much information, and so that's one thing. But the main thing in Italy, I'm sorry, because we have this talk every time I do an interview, and not only me, also my bandmates and my friends, but we really don't have a really big culture around metal and music in general, but it's because we don't study music in during our school, in school, when we're young, when we're kids. Basically, we just study a little bit of music, but we don't play instruments. We're not like they do in other European states, like they do in the north, like in Germany or in the Netherlands, in Sweden and such. It's considered important for kids to play instruments and study music and everything. So and for genres that are more extreme, we as a country are not very fond of, and so it's easier if you play pop songs or something. And in Italian, one thing that we noticed, okay, you must know that in 2021 with Degrees of Truth we went to Sanremo Rock. That's the rock version of the Sanremo festival that's held in Sanremo at the Teatro Harrison, and okay, it was not rock at all. at least the bands that were considered more the ones that won that year and that were considered more interesting by the the judges were rockish or pop. There was not rock anywhere. There was no rock anywhere. And also they told us, you must sing in Italian, because Italians want people to sing in Italian. And singing in English, that's not seen very well. I also met some acquaintances that said, why don't you sing in Italian? But English is the language of metal, of rock, and also it's just a tiny crowd like that. If we sang in Italian, we couldn't reach people in other countries who love us from abroad. So, or maybe they would love us anyway, but they can't relate in the same way if they don't understand what we're saying. So, and it sounds different. So yeah, we have this problem in Italy, and also we have to add the pandemic hit hard here, because many venues closed, and we have not that many here, and so it's become difficult for everyone to play, for both cover bands and particularly for bands who play original songs.
Sure, I understand. Speaking of closed venues, I think I met you for the first time at the one when you were...
Yeah, it was tiny but nice, and with the regular people going there every week or regularly, to see what was going on, what new band were going to play there. It was a nice atmosphere, and that was going to close regardless of the of the pandemic. Unfortunately, it was going to close anyway in 2020. Okay, I had one last show planned for April 2020 before the pandemic hit and the first lockdown was decided. So, and we didn't do that with Degrees of Truth. Okay, I was going to do my first show ever with Degrees of Truth there, but then it was April 2020, so we were all inside at home, so we didn't do it. But it was okay. Before Degrees of Truth, I played in a band called Holy Shire, and I did my first concert ever with them at the one on New Year's Eve 2018.
That's right.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was
Yes.
nice, doing the New Year's Eve show. The first and only occasion that this happened for me, but it was very nice and fun.
Yeah, I remember that night. Yes.
Yeah, okay. Since you were there, I must tell you that I wasn't hearing anything, so I don't know what came out, but I had fun anyway.
Drinking, celebrating, and so on. Not everyone was,
No, it was before I started using the in-ear monitors. I bought them after that show because I said I should be able to listen well, to hear myself well anywhere I go, and that was the best purchase of my life as an artist. And so it led to a good thing, me upgrading my gear to be able to get better performance.
Yeah, good investment, of course. I actually, when I was preparing for this chat, I had a question about Sanremo Rock because I found that.
Okay, so I went there by myself on my own.
I was asking myself, is it actually worth it? Because Sanremo itself is famous for another music style, and Sanremo and rock.
Okay, I should tell you the whole story. Okay, I wasn't convinced. Then my guitarist Daniele, he said, "No, it's a good way to make ourselves
more visible."
Yeah, exactly. And we said, well, we can try. Why not? Let's try. When we did the regional final show in Lombardy. It was like in June, and then it was September when we had the final show. We went there, and the organizers that were there, they said, "Wow, you are really going to, maybe, I don't know if you're going to win, but of course you're going to do well, because these songs that was." Okay, actually we went there with The Word Beneath My Feet, but we had to play another song to do the sound check, and we chose Proximate. That's a song sang in an operatic voice, while The Word Beneath My Feet is sang in a rock voice. Okay, sung in a rock voice. And this one of the organizers told us, you should bring Proximate, the operatic one, to the finals, because this is going to bring you places. Okay, something like that. And so we were all, it boosted up our self-esteem, this thing, because this person doesn't know anything about metal. So we said, maybe since we do some, yes, symphonic metal, but it's also progressive metal, especially last album. So we thought there are some songs that can interest people who are outside of the metal scene, because they're a little different. They have a little different sound. So we went there, and we were like a little more confident, but when it was the time of the actual show, the judges were not, didn't seem very interested in this song. Okay, they said, ah, well, that's operatic, so that's something we don't hear very often. Okay, maybe in the north of Europe, not here, not in Italy. So, okay, it was a nice experience to go on that stage, but it was very fast. It was just one song. It was nice to meet other musicians there, but I don't know. It was worth for us as a band, for our friendships and for the general experience. But I don't know. I wouldn't advise metal musicians to go there right now after having done this. It's not worthy unless you want to visit Sanremo and go to the seaside, but unless it's not worthy. Okay.
I see. Do you think it's not worth it because it still needs some time, so it might actually get better in the future, or you don't have
Okay, this sorry, how do you say it? This event has been there for 30 years, so I don't think it can improve. At least I don't think they will be more open towards other genres in the future. I don't see it very probable, but if one day they'll surprise me, I'll be happy. But I don't think that happening very soon. Sorry, I'm very negative.
Yeah, speaking about the second chance. Yeah. Oh well. Oh well. Okay. Right. Okay. Speaking about more northern bands, let's say, I've read in one of your interviews that you'd like to perform with Tommy from Kamelot.
Yeah. Please make it happen. I will pay you whatever you want. I will be your servant.
Why?
Yeah, I really like him. And it's a wonderful singer, wonderful technique, and also a very nice person. So
I really hope that he will hear you one day.
yeah, I think the queue is long. So I'm not the only one who wants to sing with him. But okay, I have one funny thing to tell you, but it's not about Silent Angel. It's about Degrees of Truth. If you let me, okay, if it's relevant, it's irrelevant. Okay, when we filmed the video of Flightmare, that's the first single from Alchemists. Okay, someone lent me a floor fan, to move my hair, okay, around during the video, but it was not strong enough, so it didn't move anything at all, even at the fast speed. Okay, so I sent my husband home, and he brought my hair dryer. Who was a professional hairdresser, hair dryer, and there was this poor young helper of the director who stayed there with a hair dryer, hot pink hair dryer. I have a video.
Let's speak about the covers again. You'll be singing covers with not only Wishmasters but also Phantom Agony, as I read on.
No. Okay, Phantom Agony never went outside the rehearsal room. Okay, it was because the same year, it was the end of 2017. I founded Wishmasters and Nightwish Tribute, but at the same time I joined Holy Shire, my previous original band, sorry, and also I started because I really love Epica, and I find it very I don't want to boast, but they're not hard for me to sing because I have a voice that is similar to Simone's.
Mhm.
Okay, so it's been more difficult for me to improve my singing Taria songs in a more professional way than singing Simone songs,
Mhm.
Epica songs. And yeah, I have this friend who started out this project. The previous singer left, so it was very nice. We sounded very similar to the studio songs. Okay, we managed to record also the choirs and everything, but you know, it was a problem. It was not it was not the music that was the problem, but you know, I had some problems with the keyboard player. Okay, because he was not coming to rehearsals and something like that because he had so much going on. But we needed a keyboard player. It's fundamental, you know, for an Epica tribute band. And but he was friends with all the other bandmates. I was the outsider there. So when I confronted him and told him, okay, if you can't come, just don't come, just tell it, and it's okay, we're friends, we'll find another keyboardist. And he got angry and said, okay, I'm leaving anyway, and it all ended there. It was a pity because we sounded good, I'll tell you, but so since I was focusing on you know, finding gigs for my Wishmasters Nightwish tribute because this was starting out. I just let it slip off, and every one of my other bandmates, they had other projects to focus on. So, and at some point we thought about starting it again. But since we were also busy with other projects, and also it's difficult, you know, to play Epica songs here. It's already difficult to play Nightwish songs, and Nightwish is more popular in the world than Epica. So we decided to, you know, just abandon the project and there. But I really like to sing Epica songs, and I'm a very big fan of them. I know Mark Jansen. I personally know Mark Jansen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because with my previous band, Holy Shire, we opened to Mayan, who was a side project of Mark. Mark and Arin from that's the drummer of Epica. So I met them in near Zurich in Switzerland when we opened to them, and he's a very nice person. But I just opened to them just that one time. Of course, opening to Epica would be one of the best experiences that could happen. So I hope this happens one day. But right now I'm just going to their concerts. I also went to their 20th anniversary show in Tilburg. Yeah, I think it was it last. No, I think it was 2 years ago. Okay, almost 2 years ago. It was September 2022.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I've met Mark personally as well. One day it was actually my first interaction with Epica back in 2014.
Oh.
Years ago, wow. It was after the show in London when they had a problem with their coach. They couldn't go, so they got. And my brother, my friends, and I, we were waiting for them to come out, especially Simone, but she never really comes out. But then there was Mark, and he was having a pack of crisps in his hands, and he said, "Guys, anybody want some crisps?" Yeah, I will never forget that. He was really
He's a
kind.
very nice person.
Yes.
A very nice person.
Yeah,
Really,
that's right.
he's not full of himself like other musicians. He's very easygoing.
Easygoing, yeah, that's the word, absolutely, yes. And thanks for mentioning Epica because my next question would be: have you ever been compared to Simone?
Okay, just for the looks. Okay, I have a different voice. Okay, that's I'll explain to you. I sing in different registers. I have one of my registers that sounds very similar to Simone's, and that's okay. But that's not the only thing that I do, because once it was the only kind of singing, aside from classical, very operatic voice that I had, was the only way I knew how to sing. But when I started with metal about seven years ago, I started to take modern singing technique lessons, and then I developed my chest voice, and that's very different. Very different. They also sometimes they say that I sound like two different singers. Maybe because I haven't learned yet to make it all more similar, but when I sing with my rock voice shouting, that's a totally different voice from when I sing in a register that's similar to Simone's. So, but sometimes they compare me to her for that reason. But that's the same register in which I sing Floor Jansen songs. So, okay, I'm not mentioning the name of the register because I've had different vocal coaches and everyone calls it in a different way. There's not, a unified name for it. Some call it mixed, but it's not mixed. Some call it belting. Some other people said it's girato, that it's called in Milan at NAM School of Music. It's called girato. So I don't know how what it is, but it's something I use it.
Okay, as long as it works.
Yeah, and also when I do the voice more similar to Taria's, it's when I do it's the masked voice. It's more in the
In your cheeks.
in the cheeks, yeah.
Yeah.
Like that, the cheek in the
Facial
cheekbones.
muscles. Yes.
That's more darker. Sorry. So it sounds different. But so if you're listening, for an example, if you listen to a song that's called Misconnection on Alchemists, that's the Music Truth album. If you listen to that and you said, okay, you sound a bit like Simone, to me it's okay. But when you listen, like I don't know, to Silent Angel songs, when I'm doing my rough voice, and you say you sound like Simone, you're just mentioning the looks, because I have red hair and blue eyes, and that's it. You're not talking about the voice, and this has happened. Sometimes they said it, but not when it's actual, it's relevant to what I'm singing. So that's, okay, everything is okay. Is okay. I know you're paying me a compliment, so that's okay. Whatever you hear and you think it's nice, it's good, it's okay. So don't worry.
Yeah, okay, I see. I also think that maybe that's how people trust you in a way, because they think, oh, that girl looks like Simone, so she must be symphonic metal as well, and maybe the quality will be the same. People who are extremely biased, they might think in this way. Claudia, I'm sorry, but I can't hear very well right now.
Sorry, do you
Yeah.
hear me?
Yes.
Sorry, I think I moved the mic. Yes, okay. No, there are many female singers in metal, but not that many that have been famous for decades or for many years. And so it's normal that people tend to refer to the most famous ones. So it's always Sharon, then Adele, then Adele, I don't know how to pronounce it, from Within Temptation, or Simone, or Flor Jansen. Okay, not my case, but Cristina Scabbia. And it's always them. So it's okay. It's normal to compare someone with the big.
All right. Okay. So just to sum it up, Do you prefer Nightwish or Epica, considering that you have experience of singing both?
I can't choose. It's like, you know, choosing your dad or your mom. No, sorry. Okay. From a strictly from a singing technique, I prefer Nightwish, because I prefer Flor Jansen, because she's more versatile, in my humble opinion. So I think she can do more things. I really love Simone's voice, but musically speaking, I love them both. Yeah, even though, of course, since there are two bands that have been there for a long time, then they all have many albums, have released many albums. So they're not good at the same level of the others. Okay, I prefer some albums more than others, but I like them both. Really, I can't choose.
That's okay, you don't have to.
Okay.
And another question, speaking about covers and also your original songs, it might be a silly question, so I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
When you are on stage, do you experience different feelings when you sing covers and when you sing songs with degrees of truth, for example?
Okay, on stage to me is the same, because if I love the songs I'm singing, it's just I'm communicating something I feel at the moment. I'm not okay, that's, I don't know, that's something of mine. I don't impersonate Taria or Annette or Flor. I don't imitate them. I'm just being me singing their songs. Okay, so the emotions I'm feeling, there's something very personal. That's how I interpret those songs. And I think the people in the audience who appreciate it, they can feel it when I'm very emotional. Okay, so that is something that my first vocal coach told me, that when you're on stage singing and you're feeling shivers, all the people in front of you feel the same shivers, and this is proved. And just through the vibrations of the voice, it's not easy to, you know, feel shivers on stage and every time with every song. It's easier with you know, ballads. It's easier. You have to focus on your the feelings and the experience and the memories that you associate with that song, even though they are not, you know, the feelings that the people who wrote it in at the time had, or what they had in mind. But you have to give some personal meaning to what you're singing, and that you know, makes a great difference in the performance. So on stage for me, it's the same, even though it's another, you know, of course it's wonderful to write your own songs and perform that in front of others, especially when you see that people are engaged, or even they know the lyrics and they sing some of them. That's very heartwarming. But from a performance perspective, to me, is the same. I'm just communicated my emotions to the audience, whether it's my own words or some other people's words.
That's interesting. Sounds meaningful as well. So thanks for that. One last question.
Okay.
Speaking about the stage and considering that summer is coming up, any upcoming shows? Are you going to perform anywhere this summer?
Okay, unfortunately, at the moment we have something that's not been confirmed in the summer.
Okay.
So I don't know whether it would take place or it would be postponed at the moment. Right now, I have the next week. I have a show with the Wishmasters Nightwish tribute exactly next Friday, June 7th, we're going to play at Lux Live in Marnate, that's provincia di Varese. And it's been some time since our last show, and since we played there, it's been 3 years since we played in that particular venue. So if someone is listening, please, and if you are free, if you want to come and see us, it's a pub. You can eat there, you can drink beer like this there. So please be free and come and say hi. So that's the the upcoming show I have for the moment.
Lovely. Well, okay, Claudia.
Okay.
I don't think I have any other questions to ask you for today. So thank you so much for your time. Thanks indeed.
Thanks to you for inviting me. It was very fun. I am too very chatty, as you said.